What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 192, and this is going to be the Week 10 review. With me, as always, from Denver, Colorado, Jason Ashby. Jason, how you doing this evening, my friend?
Fantastic. I just got over a weekend of seeing the Mets sweep the Rockies here in Denver, which was just absolutely amazing. At the same time, seeing the Phillies and the Braves both get swept made my weekend just absolutely euphoric. So I'm happy and I'm ready to roll on this episode.
Let's get started here. But before we do, returning to the show to talk about his matchup with Jimmy Dunlap this week, Mike Haber. Mike, how you feeling this week, my friend?
All right, what a crazy, weird matchup I had, but I'm feeling good. I climbed the standings a bit, um, sitting nice and pretty in third place right now. Couldn't be happier. And just ready to talk matchup and talk baseball with you guys. It's been a while.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
let's dive into this thing and let's talk about your matchup with Jimmy Dunlap. Nothing changed on Sunday, and we'll explain why here in a moment. But it was 14-6 going in, 14-6 coming out, and nothing really changed on the close categories. Mike, you won by 3 losses. Jimmy wins by 2 errors, 2 wins, and 10 ticks on the whip. And you guys tied in triples with 0.
Clean. Nice and clean.
Nice and clean. Mike, on your bench this week, you went 3 for 17. That is a 176 batting average with a run, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Of course, none of that plays because, of course, it doesn't. You only used 1 ad, so I don't even have to talk about that either. You added Christian Encarnacion Strand after the bell for Jack Dreyer. Why CES?
I had a couple guys on the bench today, and figured I could load up and not use any ads for next week. He's been hot after he came off the IL, so just taking a flyer on the Reds cleanup hitter.
All right.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, I definitely had an eye on him too. Hoping he would make it into this week. But yeah, because he's looking hot, and he looks like he's getting some playing time at third base too, so he might get some eligibility there.
Be nice. Be
Very
nice.
nice. Very nice. Mike, your MVP this week is going to be Pete Alonso, though it could be just about anybody on your roster after hitting 320 with a 384. Alonso, a 400 with a 486 on base percentage, 9 runs, 2 doubles, 5 homers, 15 RBIs. That tripled up Jimmy's total. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, and an error. Pete Alonso leading the National League, and I think he's leading all of baseball in RBIs, is he not?
He absolutely is. Yep. I saw he's on pace for like 60 RBIs in June or something like that. Like he's gonna have a mammoth month.
That's all we need is Mike Haber getting hot right as I'm about to play him. I got to play the Habers the next 2 weeks. I'm not happy about it, but I'd prefer if you guys cooled off. That'd be nice.
Okay.
Your least valuable hitter is Nico Horner, 136 with a 174, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and a strikeout. The Cy Young goes to Jack Flaherty. 6 innings, a win, 150 and an 083 with 4 strikeouts. Who'd that start come against? Chicago. Very nice start there against a good team.
Yeah, he's rebounded nicely after the rough stretch. He's now pitched at least 6 innings in the last 4 starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I started him against the White Sox, but benched him against the Cubs. But
okay.
Yeah. But at that point, it wasn't necessary to play him because it was a Sunday against the Cubs.
Gotcha.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he was still really good against the White Sox as well with 4 strikeouts. But yeah, really nice start that you benched against the Cubs.
Yeah.
Jesus Luzardo is the Cy Young this week. 2 1/3, a loss, a 30.86 ERA, and a 4.71 WHIP. What's going on with him, Mike?
He has given up 20 runs in the past 2 starts.
Damn.
And
that's gotta be like more than his entire season.
It's like 7 times more than his entire season. He's been lights out except for those 2 starts. So naturally, I don't know what to do with the guy now. Like a lot of he's been being dropped all over Yahoo, and it's like,
And his next start is against the Cubs.
yeah.
Are you starting him?
Sounds like a risk.
Most likely not. I just lost Ryan Weathers to the 60-day IL though, so I'm gonna need innings from someone. So I'll navigate through. I'll navigate.
And you might never
Okay.
see Brandon Woodruff ever again.
The guy doesn't want to play baseball, so it's okay.
Man, oh man.
He's the Cy Young of the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna make the
now
All-Star
he's
team.
like he was pulled off of his rehab, so now he's just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, he took a line drive to the elbow.
Yeah.
In what was supposed to be his last minor league start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Just never gonna end.
Nope. Nope.
Yikes. For Jimmy on his bench this week, he went 36 for 126. No, this isn't Ari's bench. Thanks so much for that. 13 runs, 7 doubles, 3 homers, 10 RBIs, a steal, 9 walks. The 9 walks he would have had to be perfect to get them in order to tie, and 32 strikeouts. He didn't play any of his offense on Friday and Saturday, benched most of his offense on Thursday, and benched some of his offense on Sunday. I think he was trying to chase a triple there, but this must have been interesting to play against, Mike. You didn't have to worry about the offense this week.
This was weird, Joe. This was weird. This was the weirdest matchup I've ever had in my life.
For his moves this week, he used 9 of them. He used Hector Neris for a solo homer and a relief appearance. That's terrible. Jake Bird, Nick Birdie for a clean relief appearance, who then went on the IL with a foot contusion. Keegan Aiken for a clean relief appearance. Noelvi Marte's on the IL. Jonathan Bolin for a clean relief appearance. David Festa was awful in Sacramento. 1964 ERA and a 218 whip. Chad Patrick for a good start, but a loss against San Diego. 6 innings, only 1 earned. And finally finished it out with Charlie Morton, who was terrible in Sacramento. 2 1/3, 15-43 and a 429 whip with 5 strikeouts. And that looks
Stop streaming Charlie Morton.
Yeah, just stop it. Just stop. Stop streaming in Sacramento too, by the way. That's a bad idea.
Too. Yeah.
Because the ball's going to start to fly there because it's really hot there. His MVP, I don't know how we decipher this because he didn't play his offense for half the week, but I guess we're going to give it to Riley Green, 455 with a 500, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Jackson Churios had the homer and 2 of the 4 runs. The least valuable hitter is everybody else. So Paul Goldschmidt 091 with 5 strikeouts. There you go. That's the guy. That's the guy. Corey Seager did not record a hit and 7 strikeouts.
Contreras with an error,
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Paul Skeens because of course it does. That's going to be up at the top, isn't it? No. As soon as I find him, 15 2/3 innings, but a loss. Only decision is a loss. With a homer, 2 walks, 15 strikeouts, an 0.57 and 0.45. An 0.57 ERA across 15 2/3, and the only thing you get is a nice fat L to wear.
Yeah. I mean, this sounds just like Jacob deGrom.
Yeah. Morton and Festa are the Cy Yuck, so we already touched on them. Mike, this has been a wild matchup. How'd you navigate this 14-6 victory here?
So, I mean, I was saying to Jason the other day that I don't want to look at my 0 ads this week or people to look at it and interpret that as me not managing. And I think that not adding any players was part of my management strategy here because I didn't need to do that much except get to 42 innings. And in a way, I don't want Jimmy to take this the wrong way, but he made it a lot easier on me than he should have. He could have still chased walks. He could have still chased, at a certain point, doubles. I mean, he bowed out offensively on Thursday.
Mhm.
So he had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and decided I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done chasing any offensive categories. Meanwhile, he played some guys on Sunday, and look where walks ended up. Like, we only separated by 9. So if you're playing your players throughout the week, you can catch walks. Granted, doubles ended up, I had 12, but I think by Thursday I maybe only had 4 or 5. So at that point, like, if I'm him and I'm getting slaughtered in runs and home runs and RBIs and steals, but I see that doubles and walks are attainable, look back at my team's history and see, oh, okay, he strikes out a ton. Like he gives that stat away every week in as a sacrifice for power and for RBIs. And yeah, my team strikes out a lot, and that's part of it. But like use that to your advantage. Play your players with the idea that you're still gonna win strikeouts. You're still probably gonna win errors. And then you have 2 other offensive categories to chase. On the pitching side, him streaming these starters, I I'm not sure why. ERA was really close at one point,
Mhm.
and I think it was like Friday or Saturday. It was late in the week. Walks given up were really close. Whip was really close.
Whip was especially close. Our favorite time of week stat corrections made that a little bit further than it was going into Sunday,
Yes.
but it was still really close.
Yeah. And he had gotten, I think it was a Tony Santillan win
Yeah.
in that stat correction game, and
Yes.
I made sure I was tracking that because like yeah, I could have chased wins, but at this point like it was 15-5 or 14-6 or something worse if one of my players blows up.
Mhm.
So I was happy keeping it where it is, but like the Charlie Morton ad for me specifically, I think he gave up a bunch of walks, he gave up a bunch of runs, and it made my decision making on Sunday much easier that I like did not have to chase anything. Um, so it was a weird week, but I do think that like not being overzealous with my ads played to my advantage because like I'm I'll take 14-6 all day long against, it's someone who I consider a top tier manager. What did you guys see like from the outside?
Jason?
Yeah, I look it definitely would have confused and baffled me. I would have been like, what the hell's going on? I've never seen, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
Yeah,
Obviously we've seen guys shut their offense down on Sundays, maybe even Saturday to an extent, but never this far out. And look, like he did have 9 walks on the bench, so like that ties the category, again, having to be perfect. But if on Thursday and Friday he's playing his guys, maybe it changes the way that you play your team. So like,
exactly. Yeah.
so it may not have ended up the way that it ended up if he actually, played it. I get not wanting to lose the errors and lose the strikeouts, but strikeouts weren't even close, like you said, and errors you can't predict errors. So just play your guys and get some hits.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, this was a really weird and interesting week for you, but you know what? It's a nice week to get right and get yourself situated in the standings while you're going through the gauntlet that is this season.
Mhm.
You've got Cody this week. How you feeling about facing off with Cody Pyatt?
Man, I wish my team kind of like saved it a bit. This is the best offensive week I think I've ever had in fantasy. I mean, I
Mhm.
could be wrong, but this is up there. Like 50 RBIs
RBIs, yeah.
in a 7-day stretch is like has it's kind of unheard of for me. Um, and my pitching was really good too.
Even
Uh,
45 runs is
Mm-hmm.
impressive.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so like everything kind of like where even if he played all of his players, Joe, like you said earlier, score probably would have been very similar. Um, but I do wish some of my guys kind of like saved some of the firepower for this week because I know Cody's not benching anyone, and he's gonna make this really hard on me. So I'm ready for it, but like I definitely needed this 14-6 before going into Cody and then you, and then I don't know who I have after that. I can only think 2 weeks in advance. But yeah.
It's Cody, Joe, Adam, and then Henry. Is your
Oh,
next.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
This is the gauntlet. I mean, we were all going to go through it at some point.
Yep.
And I'm in the middle of mine. You're in the middle of yours. Jason, you've already gone through it, and you're on your way back to the top here, slowly but surely.
We'll see.
Mike, I appreciate you being here with us, man. Are you sticking around for the rest of the show, or was this a 20-minute one-off?
Yeah, sorry, 20-minute one-off. It's not my usual style, a 20-minute one-off.
There you
But
go.
hate to leave like that. But thanks so much for having me. And even if it's for 20 minutes, it definitely cheers me up and
Hell yeah, man.
brightens my day. So thanks, guys.
Happy to have you here. We appreciate you being here, my friend. Guys, we'll be right back with the rest of the week review right after this. Thanks again to Mike Haber for being here. We really appreciate it. If any of you guys want to be a part of the show, just let me know. We can try to schedule it in best we can, but we usually record on Monday nights before or after the Mets game, usually not during. So if that works for you, great. And if not, well, we'll try to figure it out. But in any event, let's move on to the next matchup here. We're going to talk about Mike's brother, Josh. And he took on Cody Pyatt. Cody took down a 10-8 victory. Very surprising, but really nice victory for Cody here to get himself back over 500, pushing toward the playoff spot. On Sunday, Cody flipped innings pitched, untied stolen bases, but Josh flipped ERA and whip. So it was 10-7 going in. It becomes 10-8 coming out. Close categories this week. Cody wins by 2 home runs, 2 stolen bases, a walk, a win, and a home run given up by a pitcher. Josh wins by 3 runs, a triple, 2 errors, 2 walks by a pitcher, a strikeout by a pitcher, 4 ticks on the ERA, and 7 ticks on the whip. What a close match.
Yeah, he texted me and called Sunday the wildest pitching matchup he's ever been a part of.
They tied in doubles, losses, and saves. For Cody on his bench this week, he goes 0 for 10 with a walk and 8 strikeouts. Way to go. Good job. Good job. And those 8 strikeouts would have lost him the category. So strong work.
Yep. Perfect.
He used 6 ads this week. He started with Brock Stewart, Jonathan India, Eric Orzi, Trevor Larnach, 0 for 4 with an RBI and a strikeout, Luis Guerrero, who did not pitch, and finished it out with Jonathan Loaizaga, who was bad in his relief appearance.
Yeah, that was on Sunday. I'm fairly certain that's what would have flipped ERA and maybe whip. Because he was really bad.
He was very bad. He definitely gave up a run, so that's definitely going to tick the ERA back down if he doesn't do that. So it's a shame. The MVP for Cody is Vinny Pasquantino. We haven't heard from him at all yet this year.
Yeah, player of the week this week.
Yeah, 500 with a 536 with 4 runs, a double, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Shout out to Cal Raleigh, who had 3 homers and 8 RBIs with a 350.
And a steal. This guy has got 7 stolen bases.
And a steal.
Yeah, like this guy's doing everything. Like,
yeah.
And he's hitting 272. Like, you expect, you see 26 home runs. Okay, maybe he's hitting 230. No, he's hitting 272. Like, that's respectable.
He's basically the Mariners' entire offense, and that's a shame because Julio Rodriguez is on that team, and Randy Arozarena is on that team, and like they still need to go out and add a bat.
And that probably still isn't enough.
Right. The least valuable hitter goes to Wyatt Langford, 190 with a 227, a run, a double, 2 RBIs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. On the pitching side, his Cy Young goes to DeGrom and Kelly. Merrill Kelly, surprisingly enough, 7 innings, a win, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 0.29. Jacob DeGrom, 7 innings, a win, 8 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 0.29.
Yeah, and that DeGrom start came against the Nationals. That was like vintage DeGrom against the Nationals, like he was just wearing the wrong uniform.
No, you know what? He's wearing the right uniform. We weren't going to pay him that much money.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
seeing him dominate the Nationals like that just reminds me of him being in the blue and orange.
Yeah. The Cy Young goes to Pierce Johnson.
Yeah.
What happened with him this week? 2 2/3, 2 losses, a homer, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 675 and a 188. He lost 2 games in 3 relief appearances. That's not good.
Back to back. Like because they lost like two or three games in a row, like in walk-off fashion, and he had 2 of them.
Yikes. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, he's trusted with late inning, heroics there at least.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. For Josh on his bench this week, he went 7 for 34. That's a 206 batting average with 5 runs, a double that would have won the category, 3 homers that would have won the category, 7 RBIs, a steal, a walk to tie the category, 10 strikeouts, and 2 errors that would have lost him the category. Strong work. But there's a bunch in there.
There is.
There was a Walker home run on Tuesday, a big day from Lowe on Wednesday.
Yeah, he actually told me about he talked to me about the Tuesday Walker home run, but he was facing Paul Skeens and he was like, "No, I'm not starting him against Paul Skeens." So
yeah,
and that was like the only run that Skeens gave up.
Yeah, I mean sometimes that happens. Your
Yeah.
guy gets into one against a really good pitcher, and it's happened to me before. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
8 ads used this week. He started with Tristan Beck, who did not play. Rob, who doesn't have a fucking vowel in his last name, for a clean relief appearance. IKF was benched. Alex Vesia off of waivers and a win in relief. Edward Cabrera for 4-inning loss against Tampa Bay, only 1 earned run, so that's pretty nice. Gavin Williams, 6 innings, no decision, 450 and a 117 against Houston. Garrett Whitlock for a clean relief appearance, and Sam Hilliard 1 for 2 with a run, a double, and 2 walks.
That was on Sunday, and I watched him pick him up, and I was like, "Really, you're gonna do that, huh?" And because he was, they're going against McGill, and I'm sitting there at the stadium, and here comes Sam Hilliard, breaks up McGill's no hitter with that double to right field, and I was like, "Damn you, Josh!"
His MVP is Juan Soto, however. I'm sure this makes you happy.
Yes.
333 with a 543 on base percentage, 8 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, 11 walks, and 4 strikeouts. 11 walks to 4 strikeouts. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, Josh had 19 on the week.
It's a lot of walks, and 11 of them came from that guy. Insane. The least valuable hitter, we've got a few options here, either Schwarber or Christian Walker or Ben Rice. We'll go with Christian Walker, 083 with an 083 with 4 strikeouts. I mean, it's just not going to cut it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only day was the home run that he benched against Skeens. So, like, that was it.
And he's still bad. He's still only hitting 207. He was picked 101 overall in the 7th round. And that's just not going to cut it.
No. That's barely replacement level.
Mm-hmm. The Cy Young is Mackenzie Gore, who's been fantastic this year. 7 innings, a win, a walk, 7 strikeouts, nothing earned in an 0.57. The Cy Young goes to Brennan Bernardino. An inning and 2/3, a 16-20 across 2 relief appearances and a 3 whip with 2 walks and a strikeout. Yikes.
I mean, but both these guys pitched, I mean, fantastic.
Fantastically, yeah.
Just over 1 whip, like, over, 55, 60 innings. Like, they both came to play.
And even despite this 10-8 loss here, Josh is sitting very pretty in second place, only a game out.
Yeah. The top 3 right now. Oh gosh, even like the top 6 are all like just you guys are all killing it. But that top 3 of Ben and the Habers, like that could be the case for the next dozen years or whatever.
we'll get to Ben's team in a minute, man. Like I shrug my shoulders sometimes with this thing. Like I don't understand. As
Yeah.
for Cody, I mean, he's doing great here, sitting in seventh. He's 12 and a half out after a really slow start to the season. He lost 3 of the first 4, but
Mhm.
he's undefeated in his last 3 weeks and only 1 loss in his last 5.
And look, he has Mike Haber this week, but then he's got Frank, Jimmy, and Costas before he faces you. So, like, there's a chance there for him to make some more move up the standings if he can play it right.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's halfway through this gauntlet of the Habers that everybody gets this year,
Yeah.
except for them because they're them. But you know what? He takes down the first half of it here 10-8. Let's see what he's capable of against Mike this week. And yeah, then he gets a little bit of a reprieve.
Yeah, yeah, and get some guys healthy and see what you can do.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. It's going to be Ben Nisman taking on Henry Collins. And I don't know how the hell Ben is in first place. I really don't. I just, I'm, listen, I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. He's doing great. But he's got Brian Hayes playing third base today. And he's been playing Javier Baez. He's got Joe Adele in the outfield. Alex Verdugo is out there. Like, who are these dudes and why are they on his team? And how is he in first place?
Yeah, because and we've said it before with him, but there is a case to be said that sometimes the manager is better than the players, and he plays it right. Like he picks up these relievers that come in that day and throw a clean inning, and then he dumps them and picks up somebody else who does a clean inning. Like he just, it's like he has these guys on speed dial, and he knows who to pick up and when to pick them up.
Yeah. Yeah. As for this matchup with Henry, it ended up 13-7 in Ben's favor. I throw my hands up sometimes. Ben hit 214 and had a 281 on base percentage and won both of those categories. Below my mind. On Sunday, Henry untied steals but committed an error. And so it goes 12. It was 12-6 going in. It's 13-7 coming out. For close categories, Ben wins by an error, 2 ticks on the on base percentage, a win, a loss, and 3 saves. Henry wins by 3 doubles, a steal, 2 walks by a batter, and 5 strikeouts by a pitcher. They tied in triples. For Ben on his bench, he went 12 for 57, benching most of the offense on Sunday. That's a 211 batting average, 6 runs, 2 doubles, the triple that would have won the category, 23 RBIs, a stolen base that would have tied the category, a walk, and 10 strikeouts that would have tied the category. So good job keeping those out.
Yep.
That won that category. But the triple is very key. It came on Sunday, obviously, and it was Will Smith.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I get it. It sucks for Henry though to like, you close categories two ticks on the on base, and the on base was 281 to 279. Like one hit would have done it.
Yeah, yeah. Neither one of these guys hit well at all,
Yeah.
But Ben was just a little bit better. He used 9 ads this week. Justin Wilson for a clean relief appearance, Scott Barlow for a clean relief appearance, and Grant Anderson for a bad relief appearance. JP Crawford 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Tyler Ferguson, relief appearance with 2 walks over a third of an inning. That's not very good. Eric Lauer, a clean 2 1/3 in his relief appearance with a win. Brian Hayes 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Tyler Fitzgerald 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And Joe Adele after the bell. His MVP this week goes to Nolan Arenado. 353 average and on base with 4 runs, a homer, 4 RBIs, and 3 strikeouts. Is he doing good this season? Like, I really hope he is.
Yeah, he's kind of humming along. I mean, he's only hitting 237 with 7 home runs, but sometimes I feel like he's always on base, but like he's got 32 RBIs, so he's driving the guys in. It's just it's coming in spurts. It looks like.
Yeah. I don't know what the Cardinals are right now.
They're a puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're in it or they're out, but if they're out, you can still get a nice haul for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see. His least valuable hitter this week is plenty of options. It's pretty much everybody else. Max Kepler, 091. Bryce Harper, 091, and a trip to the IL. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, Luis Ariz only hit 179.
Yeah. 154 out of Will Smith, not including that triple on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad week. It's just a bad week. We've highlighted the batting average and on base percentage woes that happened from these guys. It's
You know what? Like this is what I'm talking about. Like he picks up JP Crawford and gets him two walks that day, and like I tried twice the past couple of weeks to pick up JP Crawford because I know he walks a lot. Never got me a walk. He just strikes out and then gets ejected. But like for Ben, he gets the walks.
yeah. I don't know, man. His Cy Young this week is Christopher Sanchez, 13 innings, a win, a loss, a homer, 6 walks, 13 strikeouts, a 208, and a 123. Benji pitched really well, another sub-3 ERA this week, over 47 and 2/3.
Yep.
Mastered the pitching side against Henry this week. That's where most of this blowout win comes from. The Cy Young goes to either Raisel Iglesias or Jordan Romano. Romano
pick your favorite and batter closer.
Yeah, Romano took 2 losses. Iglesias had a 21.60 ERA and a 4.80 WHIP. So take your pick.
Yeah, neither one of them got a save.
Nope. Neither one of them was good. For Henry on his bench this week, he went 9 for 37. That's a 243 batting average with a run, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, 6 walks, and 8 strikeouts. None of it plays. Good job, Henry.
Yep. Well done.
Well done. He used all 10 ads this week. Andrew Benintendi, 0 for 0 for 2. Aaron Savale, 5 1/3 and a win in Cincinnati. Andre Palante, 4 1/3 and a no decision with a 14.54 ERA against Kansas City. Yikes. Drew Pomeranz threw him an inning as an opener. Landon Knack was bad against our Mets. Why are you streaming against our Mets?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's bad for you. Colt Keith, who got a walk but did not start. Dean Kramer, 5 1/3 in a loss against the Athletics in Sacramento.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's bad for you. Tyler Heineman, 3 for 4 with a 2 runs, a homer, and an RBI. Brandon Walter, 6 inning, no decision, good start against Cleveland. And Bowden Francis, who was awful in Minnesota, 3 1/3 and a loss.
5 walks and 2 strikeouts.
Oof, that's terrible. That's terrible. The MVP this week goes to Matt Chapman. 308 with a 379 on base percentage, 5 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Geraldo Perdomo, 095 average and on base, 2 runs, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, and 4 strikeouts. Again, could have gone to a lot of dudes.
Yeah. It was not good. Jason Dominguez was bad. But he
hit 174.
Yeah.
Just bad all the way around.
Yeah.
On the pitching side, Chris Bassett is the Cy Young this week. 7 innings, a win, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a 1 WHIP. Max Fried also had 6 shutout innings and 7 strikeouts. This is the Cy Young of the AL right now, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, he's got a 178 ERA, a 094 WHIP over 81 innings. Like, I can't think of who would have been better than that.
Yeah, and he goes tomorrow in Kansas City, so I presume that's going to be a great start for him too.
I'm predicting a complete game shutout.
The Cy Young goes to Bowden Francis. We talked about him, and this is a bad loss for Henry. It's a bad loss for Henry. He was in second place coming in. He's in 4th now. He's still 18 games over 500, but it's a bad loss in the sense that you don't get to face Ben again. And if you get to the playoffs, he holds the tiebreaker now.
Yeah. And it was just an ugly. It was an ugly match all around. Especially looking at the offense. And we've seen Henry have some really good offensive weeks. So hopefully for him, this is just like a blip on the radar, and he can get it right. But he needs the guys like Vladimir Guerrero to get right, and Christian Yelich to get back on track, and he needs some of these guys to get right again. So, yeah, I don't know what's his schedule. He's got Bobby this week, and then Lebo, and then the Habers.
Yeah, so he's in the middle of it. He's in the middle of it. It's time to put it in gear. I mean, you just lost pretty big to Ben, who is now in first place, and just he's killing it. He's killing it managerially. I just don't know how sustainable this is with the team that he has assembled again this year.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He's got some sort of magical spell or something.
Mm-hmm. But if there is a time to be in the doldrums and have your best player on the IL, now's the time. He's got Mike Sherman this week. He's got you next week, and then he gets Ari and Chris Levy.
Yeah.
So this next month might be a little bit rocky to start, but it's pretty soft toward the end of it.
Yeah, and then Costas after that, which who knows? Ben and Costas always put on a good show. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But like you said, this will be a time for him to get Bryce Harper back and healthy and ready to go, and get ready for the stretch run.
Yeah, he's going to be there, no doubt. He's going to be in the playoff hunt. We'll certainly be talking more about how he's going to navigate the remainder of his schedule and get into the playoffs. But we will see exactly what happens. Good luck to Henry this week as well. Let's move on to the next matchup. It is my loss this week to Brian Lebo.
Yeah.
11-9. On Sunday, it was a lot worse for a while, and my team was really hot coming in, so I've expected this kind of cool off. I certainly hope to pick it back up against the Habers now, but maybe it's time for me to slide back down a little bit. I did win like 5 in a row, and it happens. But I'm certainly glad it's not a blowout loss. I'm happy for Brian to continue to get right here.
Yeah.
On Sunday, I untied triples. I got the only triple of the matchup on Sunday. Haha. And Brian took an error by Jazz Chisholm in the night game, which gave me that category as well. I took saves, but Lebo untied home runs by a hitter, flipped home runs by a pitcher, and a stat corrections brought in a little bit more. So it was 9-7 going in, 11-9 coming out. Close categories, I win by a triple, an error, 2 saves, and 2 ticks on the whip. Lebo wins by 4 runs, a homer, 3 losses, and a home run given up by a pitcher. We tied in wins. For Lebo on his bench this week, he went 16 for 60. That's a 267 average. 6 runs, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, a steal, 2 walks, and 14 strikeouts that would have lost him that category. So none of that shit plays.
Yeah, I mean, 60 at bats on the bench and all that stuff, and none of it mattered.
Nope, not a single bit of it mattered. He used 9 ads this week. He had a Jack Caglione off of waivers, and he went over 5 in his MLB debut. Womp womp. He went 1 for his first 17. The kid's gonna be fine. It's just
he's hitting it hard. Like
that's what I've heard.
Yeah. So he'll be fine.
Yeah. He had a Justin Topa for a clean relief appearance. Michael Lorenzen for an awful start against St. Louis. Part one. Ian Hamilton. Kevin Kelly was a waste, and then added Cole Sands for a clean relief appearance. And finished it up with Jesus Sanchez, who was an asshole, 2 for 5 with 2 runs, a double, a homer, 5 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts. Lorenzen again for a good start. This one against the White Sox, 6 innings, a win, and 2 earned runs with an 0.50 whip. And finished it out with Michael McGreevy, 6 innings, a loss, 5 strikeouts against the Dodgers. His MVP this week goes to Jacob Wilson. 500 with a 519 on base percentage, 5 runs, 3 doubles, a homer, 6 RBIs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. This kid's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's running away with the Rookie of the Year right now.
Yeah. I think so too.
372 over 63 games.
And it's not like he's a little slap hitter. He's got 8 homers.
Yeah. He's doing a little bit of everything, and he's making his dad look silly.
Yeah. His least valuable hitter this week is James Wood. 100 with a 136 with a double, an RBI, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Sonny Gray, who was really good. I remember it being really good. 6 1/3, a win, 5 strikeouts, nothing earned, and a 126. That start was against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shut down the Dodgers for 6 1/3. It was quite annoying.
Especially since you have half their team.
Yes. The Cy Young goes to Matthew Liberatore, who was awful. 4 innings, a loss, 2 homers, a walk, 2 strikeouts, a 15.75, and a 2.25. Not for nothing that Michael Lorenzen's second start saved his ass from being that this week.
Yes, absolutely it did. But it was good enough to stay off that.
Mm-hmm. For me on my bench this week, it wasn't a great week. It was 14 for 52. That's a 269 batting average with 8 runs that would have won the category, 2 doubles, 4 homers that would have won the category, 11 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks, and 14 strikeouts. Plus, I benched Zach Gallen against the Braves. He would have won, but yeah, you're right. I'd probably lose the whip category in that scenario.
Yeah, he went 7 innings, gave up a walk. He had a 0.71 whip in that start, but it was so close. So it's toss up.
Yeah. As for the bench itself, like, just the wrong guy some days. Like, I'm going to have this rolling rotation of Torkelson, Muncy, Paredes, and Campbell for a while, and that's okay. That's all right.
But some weeks you'll get it right, some weeks you won't. That's the way baseball works.
Yeah. I used all 10 ads this week, and I said to myself before this week going in, I was like, all right, I have to retool the bullpen, and I'm going to win relief appearances. Like, I set out to win relief appearances this week. Yuki Matsui for a clean relief appearance with a win. Garrett Whitlock, clean relief appearance. Jose Ferrer, clean relief appearance. Jonathan Loizaga, clean relief appearance. Michael Kopech, on from the IL, clean relief appearance. Daniel Lynch, clean relief appearance. Steven Matz, clean relief appearance. Craig Kimbrell, clean relief appearance. And then he got designated for assignment. Jamison Tyone, 7 innings and a win, 1 earned run against Detroit. And finished it out adding Roki Sasaki, who I hope can be a part of the team at some point in August when I'm pushing for the playoffs.
Yeah, I had him. I let him go. I just didn't know, I couldn't hang on to another guy that was going to be another injured Japanese starter that was never going to show up again. So, but Yuki Matsui, by the way, got you 2 wins in relief this week, which is amazing. And the thing is, I was eyeing him at the end of the previous week, and I was out of ads, so I was hoping that he would be around by the time I woke up on Monday, and he was not.
He was not. He's on my squad. Yeah. And he's not going anywhere for a little bit. Neither is Jose Ferrer, who gets into like every game. 29 relief appearances is what I got after all was said and done this week. And that, my friends, is a record. It is the most in a 7-day week. Come get 30 to break it.
Not Ari.
My MVP this week goes to Max Muncy. 300 with a 462, 4 runs, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, a steal, 6 walks, and 6 strikeouts. He's been on fire since he put glasses on.
Who knew? That's all it took.
All it took was his ability to see.
Last 2 weeks, he's hitting 333 with 15 RBIs.
And people said I was crazy for hanging on to him. No. Nay, he's very good. Mookie was also very good as well with a 440 and a 481 this week.
Yep.
The least valuable hitter goes to Marcelo Zuna. He was awful this week. 042 with a 115, 3 runs, a double, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. I can't take him out of the lineup. He's my only left fielder. And he doesn't ever error because he's not playing the field.
Yep. Yeah. He's still got 10 home runs and 28 RBIs, but the Braves in general are just they're awful. So
yeah, they're hurting. They are hurting right now.
They're like what? I think they're like 2 games above the Marlins.
Yeah, they're behind the Nationals in the standings. I think they're 10 games under 500. I picked the wrong squad, man. It happens. I'm not trading them all. Like it's.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank. No, Frank doesn't listen to this part. It's not his part. My Cy Young goes to Logan Webb. That guy has been an anchor for me. 14 innings, a homer, 17 strikeouts, a 1.29 and an 0.86. The Cy Young goes to Spencer Strider, who was very bad. 11 innings, 2 losses, 3 homers, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 6.55 and a 1.27. He's just another part of the Braves that's going wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he comes back from injury, and so you expect a little bit of rust, I guess, but not like that. It was, I mean, he got better. He got better on Sunday, but that first start against Arizona was no good.
Well, his next start is at home, and it's against the Rockies, so let's hope for the best.
That's the way to get right.
Yeah. Man, I am sitting in, what, 6th place right now?
You are in 5th place, sir.
5th place. All right, I'll take that. I've got Mike Haber this week, and then I've got a schedule that breaks down as the following. So it's Mike Haber, then Frank, then Jimmy, and then Cody, and then Costas. So hopefully I can navigate the rest of this without, look, I haven't won since I beat Chris Levy 13-6 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They haven't been bad losses. It was a 12-9 to Ben and 11-9 here with a 10-10 tie to Bobby. That's okay. I can take shit like that. I just don't want to get blown out.
No, and look, if you get through the Habers without getting blown out, you should be all right.
I think so. And as for Lebo, man, he is on the move. He's won this week. He tied with Cody last week, took an 11-9 loss to Jimmy the week before, but he has been on a roll. That's the only loss in the last 5 weeks for him.
Yeah, and he's just hanging around, and this is, probably one of the better showings we've seen from him this late in the season. I feel like in quite a bit. So here he's in 8th place. He's only like 6 or so games out of a playoff spot right now.
Yeah.
And we're only in, early June. So
6.5 out. He's 2 under.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first goal. Get to 500. Get over 500. Then worry about where you're standing in the playoffs. But the first goal is to get back over 500. And that's very attainable this week.
Yeah, it's got Adam this week, and then Henry, then Sherman, and then me.
Okay. It's winnable. Just go out and do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. It's going to be Mike Sherman taking on Chris Levy. And at the end of the day, Levy gets himself a 12-9 victory. That is very helpful for the standings, given Mike Sherman's incredible start to the season.
And it was a comeback win that shocked everybody.
Yeah. On Sunday, Sherman untied the walks category, walks by a pitcher, but because Levy gave up too many. But Levy untied doubles thanks to a stat correction, flipped RBIs, innings, and strikeouts by a pitcher. Way to go.
Yeah. Turned the whole matchup on his head on Sunday.
Yeah, it was 11-8 Sherman going in. It became 12-9 coming out. Great job, Chris. Close categories, Chris wins by 2 RBIs, an inning and 2/3, and a loss. Sherman wins by 2 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 4 walks, 2 errors, a save, 2 walks by a pitcher, and a relief appearance, and they did not tie in anything. For Chris on his bench this week, he went 3 for 17. That is a 176 batting average, 2 runs, a homer, an RBI, and 2 errors. The only thing that plays is Brendan Hanafy's relief appearance, huh?
Yeah, on Tuesday he had him on the bench because he had one too many relievers, so he was the odd man out, and he had a clean relief appearance, and he lost relief appearances by 1.
There you go. That's going to play.
Yep.
He used all 10 ads this week. Alejandro Kirk, 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI. Santiago Espinal, who was a waste. Abraham Toro, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts and an error. And whoever the hell Will Klein is.
But he was optioned to AAA, so we never even saw him. He never existed.
Oh, so a second waste. Got it.
Yeah.
Nolan Shanuel, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a walk. Mickey Moniak, 0 for 3 with a run, a stolen base, and a walk. Jose Arena, an earned run in 2 1/3 in a relief appearance. Brett Beatty, 1 for 3 with an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout with an error. And finished it up with Brad Lord, clean relief appearance, and Pavin Smith, who did not play. His MVP this week, of course, you already know who it is. It's Aaron Judge. It's always Aaron Judge. 450 with a 577, 7 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, a steal, 5 walks, and 7 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to CJ Abrams or Adalis Garcia, either one. Both were pretty good, though.
Yeah, I mean, nobody really shit the bed in this lineup this week.
Right. 188 with a 188 for Abrams, a run, a double, an RBI, a steal, and 4 strikeouts. That seems to be like the worst line that we've got here.
Yeah.
The Cy Young this week goes to George Kirby. Glad he was back from the IL, and he was dealing. 12 innings, a win, a loss, a homer, a walk, 17 strikeouts, a 3, and an 0.92.
14 of those came on Sunday.
14 strikeouts on
Yeah.
Sunday. That's insane.
Yeah, in 7 innings against the Angels. But, he came back from the IL. His first 2 starts were just awful. And now he seems to be righting the ship a little bit. So that's danger for me because I'm facing Levy this week.
Great. Well, hopefully it's more like Taj Bradley's line this week as he's the Cy Young, a 15.75 ERA and a 2 whip across 4 innings. Gross.
Yeah.
Gross. For Sherman on his bench this week, he went 13 for 46. That's a 283 batting average, 4 runs, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs that would have won the category, 2 stolen bases, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, and an error. He used 3 moves this week: Hobie Milner, Adrian Hauser, and Brady Singer. Hauser was good and got a win. Singer was okay and a no decision against Arizona, and Hobie Milner gave him a clean relief appearance. Sure enough, that's it. His MVP this week, man, Hunter Goodman is a pest.
It really is.
400 with a 423 this week, 5 runs, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 6 RBIs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, and an error. And he's like the Rockies' best hitter, isn't he?
He is, and because the Rockies have nobody else to play catcher, like he plays a lot, and when he doesn't catch, he DHs. So he's in there like every day. He's had like I think 2 days off in the last month. Like he just plays, and he still has the outfield eligibility. Doesn't play there anymore, but he has it, and he's been hitting.
Yeah, he's got 10 bombs on the season, and he's playing half his games at Coors. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
Josh Young is the least valuable hitter this week, 053 with a 143, a run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Not great.
No, not good at all.
Not good at all.
Brenton Doyle was also really bad too.
Yeah, Brenton Doyle was really bad with an 083, 5 strikeouts as well. Gross. Yeah. How is Adrian Hauser a Cy Young this week? How's that a thing?
Remember this guy? Remember he used to pitch for the Mets at one point?
Yeah, he was awful for the Mets. Well, apparently he's pitching for the White Sox now. 6 innings, a win, a homer, a walk, 6 strikeouts, a 150, and a 117. Go figure.
Yeah,
Go
against
figure.
Kansas City.
Go figure. And Tyler Holton is the least valuable, or he's the Cy Young this week. 4 innings across 2 relief appearances, a loss, 2 bombs, a 9, and a 1. Not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
But it was really good. Both guys pitched pretty well this week. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As for the standings, I mean, listen, Chris gets a nice win here. He's currently sitting in 15th place, and he's 30 games out. He is 21 and a half games or 20 and a half games out of a playoff spot. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's improbable.
Yeah. I mean, weeks like this are nice to have, but they're hard to get. And when you're at that spot in the line in the standings, hard to get is not very good. So
right.
Yeah.
But Sherman is having himself a season. Let's give him his flowers here. He is this loss snapped a 5-game winning streak for him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 4-game winning streak for him.
But
and they were big wins.
Yeah, and he got one blowout that was against you back in week 4. But otherwise it's been, he's just being right there.
Yeah, he's got Benji this week. and then Bobby, and then Lebo, and then the Habers. So it's going to get difficult.
Yeah.
Let's hope he can navigate this thing and stay in this hunt because league is better when Mike Sherman is good.
That would be fun. That'd be fun
That
to
would
see.
be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, Jason. It's time to talk about this matchup with Ari, dude.
Man, oh man.
What happened here, dude?
What happened here is we ended up in a 10-10 tie, and I
Mhm.
still moved up 3 spots in the standings. So
Take it.
I will happily take that. Because honestly, like there were parts of the week where I was like, I can't lose to Ari. Like, and it was rough, like most of the week. We were back and forth on a lot of categories, including relief appearances, and this is where like, things get confusing with Ari because it's like, okay, I don't need to focus on relief appearances because he doesn't play relievers, but the ones he plays come in, and the ones that I have don't come in, and so that was the problem. Is I feel I rostered a bullpen of guys who don't pitch.
That sucks, man. Man, oh man, you shouldn't be like fighting Ari in relief appearances. That's something that just comes naturally to your team, at least.
Right, right.
Difficult. On Sunday, Ari flipped strikeouts by a hitter, but you flipped runs and strikeouts by a pitcher. Untied relief appearances to get that win. So it was 11-8 Ari going in, and it's 10-10 coming out. You survived this one. Close categories this week. You win by a run, 2 doubles, 4 homers, 10 ticks on the on base percentage, 3 wins, a walk by a pitcher, 2 strikeouts by a pitcher, and a relief appearance. It's 8 of your 10 close categories.
Yeah, and a lot of the stat corrections from the suspended Reds D-backs game, like I have it on the sheet here. Like there was a lot of things that happened, but none of it mattered, which was impressive. Because it was all a wash.
Yeah.
But it was just really kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Ari's close categories is he wins by a triple, an RBI, 3 stolen bases, 4 walks by a hitter, an error, and 3 losses. You guys tied in home runs by a pitcher. For your bench this week, sir, you went 4 for 35. That is a 114 batting average with 5 runs, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs that would have won the category, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 2 errors. Well done, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, it was on Sunday. It was Miguel Vargas hit a 3-run home run, and that was the 3 RBIs that would have made this a bit different. But like, I don't know, there was nowhere. I didn't find a good spot to put him in. So, like, it's one of those things.
Yeah, he's a bench player, and
Yeah,
you didn't have the room that day. Shit
Yep.
happens. For your moves this week, you used all 10 of them. Luis Severino was, quote, dreadful versus Minnesota. You added Ronnie Mauricio, Parker Meadows 0 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Sandy Alcantara, you did it. You started him against Colorado. 6-inning no decision with a walk and 4 strikeouts, a 3 and an 083. He was okay. He was all right.
Yeah. Now he's got Pittsburgh this week, so
Yeah.
I might start him again.
All right. You added Quinn Priester, 5-inning win, 1 earned run as a primary pitcher in a relief appearance role.
Yeah, and Ari had the Brewers started DL Hall, and Ari had him, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll pick up Quinn Priester and get the innings and hopefully hope for the win, and that's what I got.
There you go. You added Chris Flexen, Mitch Keller for a bad start against Houston, Mason Montgomery for a horrible relief appearance, Chris Martin for a clean relief appearance, and finished it out with Aaron Bummer, who did not play. Your MVP this week goes to your Diamondbacks, Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte. They tore it up for you this week.
Yeah,
Carroll,
against Spencer Strider.
yeah, well, shit happens.
Yeah.
Corbin Carroll, 357 with a 526 on base percentage, 5 runs, a double, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Ketel Marte, 400 with a 538 on base percentage, 4 homers, and 8 RBIs with 6 walks. It's a hell of a week, man.
Yeah.
And it's good pairing these two together. Moving Mason Miller to pair these two together is really cool.
They hit back to back in the lineup. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. The least valuable hitter is Willie Adames. Did not record a hit with a 250 on base, an RBI, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and an error. He's still struggling, huh?
Yeah, and like I benched him for most of the week, but he actually did not get a hit the entire week. Like even if I had played him and not played him, like he just flat out went 0 for the week.
Man, and this team is winning despite him.
He's hitting 193.
That's not good at all.
Yeah.
What a move to San Francisco that was, and what disaster has become of this man.
Yeah.
Yep. Tariq Skubal is the Cy Young this week. Good job on that. 7 2/3, a win, a 117 and a 104 with 6 strikeouts. Very well done. And the Cy Young quote, choose your favorite. This is a choose your own adventure game. I'm going with Walker Buehler. 2 innings, a loss, 2 homers, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, a 22.50 and a 4.50. We could give it to Severino. We could give it to Carlos Vargas. We could give it to Lucas Giolito, who had a 37.80 ERA. Yeah.
I pitched to a 6.03 ERA, and that came down after stat corrections because Kate Horton was an earned run was taken away from him, so it was higher.
Man, this was a rough week.
Yeah. Just the pitching did not work, except for Skubal. The pitching really didn't work this week.
For Ari on his bench this week, he goes 24 for 88. That is a 272 batting average. 13 runs that would have won the category. 2 doubles that would have won the category. A triple, 4 homers that would have won the category. 13 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 7 walks, 15 strikeouts that would have lost the category, and 2 errors that would have lost the category. Yuck. Pain in the ass every week.
Yeah.
2 ads this week. DL Hall that you mentioned earlier as an opener, and Starling Marte, 3 for 4, 2 runs, a double, a homer, an RBI, and a walk. He had that guy's personal phone number just to get that performance.
But I can take it from a fellow Mets fan, but when you stream a Mets hitter against a Mets fan and he does that hurts.
Yeah. His MVP this week is Trevor Story, who was fantastic for him. 353 with a 421 on base, 4 runs, a double, a homer, 6 RBIs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Connor Norby. Did not record a hit with a strikeout. Angel Martinez did not record a hit with 4 strikeouts. Gunnar Henderson would hit 125 with 5 strikeouts. Like this is
it's because these guys are just in and out of the lineup every day. So it's like, Gunnar Henderson had a good week. He went 3 for 4 on Saturday, but he didn't play.
This is Ari's team. He's got an enormous bench. Some guys don't ever play. Like I haven't seen Royce Lewis in the lineup very often.
Yeah, he had a good week.
Yeah,
but it's just in and out. It's very hard. It's very hard to navigate this. Believe it.
His Cy Young this week goes to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. 6 innings, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, nothing earned, and a 1 whip in a no decision. I think that was against St. Louis.
It was because I had 3 St. Louis hitters going, and I was like, I knew I shouldn't have started any of them, but I was hoping that maybe one of them would do well against him. But no, he just shut them down.
Yeah. And the Cy Young goes to nobody because he pitched pretty well. I mean, JP Sears had the highest ERA at 7.20, but he got the win.
Right. So everybody kind of did something, even the loss from Dylan Cease, but he struck out 7. So everybody kind of contributed here.
Yeah. Carlos Estevez took a loss, but he got 3 saves. So
yeah,
can't be him.
Yeah, I mean he comes in 4 times in the week. That's what I'm talking about. Between Estevez, Chapman, and Shelby Miller, he had that's it. That's his bullpen. But it was enough to push relief appearances against me, who I'm throwing as many guys as I can, but they're just not coming in.
Jason, you're finishing up a little bit of this, but you're going to go right back into this gauntlet again because you're one of those guys who's got to go through it twice.
Yeah. So I have Chris Levy this week, so I'm hoping that it's a little bit of a soft landing for me, because then it's Ben, Bobby, Lebo, and the Habers. So like this is and like I had a nice 15-4 win against Cody a few weeks ago, but otherwise I really haven't had a big win. I need a big win here.
Yeah. You need a good one here against Chris Levy. You need to get back in this race because though you are sitting pretty in ninth, you are 6 under. You got a little bit of climbing left to do though, buddy.
Yeah, and look again, like I'll take a 10-10 tie if it means moving up in the standings. Like that seems like a gift to me. So I'm hoping that things turn around. I'm finding um the ads this year are not working in my favor like they were last year. I feel like last year I was doing pretty good with the ads. This year it's been a struggle.
Man, you got to get right here. You got to get right. You got to get well ahead of this thing before you get back into that gauntlet because this is your season right here. The next few weeks is going to be your season.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
All right. As for Ari, he's in last place. He doesn't participate very much, and he has a large bench.
He did play me hard this week, so I gotta give him credit.
Yeah. Oh, he plays everybody hard. Question is like, is he going to make moves to try to go after anything? And the answer is usually no.
No, right. Yeah. Which is like it's like just enough to say I'm here. That's it.
That's it. All right, now we can welcome Frank to the program because we're going to talk about his matchup here with Costas Paragis. Big fat win for Frank this week. 15-5 is the final score. On Sunday, Costas untied relief appearances, so it was 15-4 going in, 15-5 coming out. Very easy research there.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah. Close categories this week. Frank wins by a run, a triple, 3 RBIs, four strikeouts by a hitter, 5 ticks on the on-base percentage, and a win. Costas wins by 3 home runs and a relief appearance, and they tied in walks by a hitter. For Frank on his bench this week, he goes 11 for 40. That's a 275 batting average with 2 runs, a homer, 3 RBIs, a steal, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts that would have lost him the category, and an error. Well done, Frank. Well done.
Yeah.
7 ads used this week. Brings back Steven Cruz for a clean relief appearance and a win. Landon Raup, 6 1/3, no decision, nothing earned against San Diego. Sawyer Gibson Long, sounds like a fucking law firm. He was bad against the White Sox. Bennett Souza for a clean relief appearance and a save. Ty France, 1 for 4 with a run, a double, and an RBI. Patrick Corbin, 8-inning loss, but a 2.25 ERA and an 0.63 whip against Washington. That was a complete game.
Yeah, complete game loss. I think it was like 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Finished it out with Justin Topa, who did not appear. His MVP this week, he'll have me say it again, 17th round, Jeremy Pena. 370 with a 370 on base, 4 runs, 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and 6 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter is Jake Cronenworthless.
Yes.
176 with a 263, a run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Is he doing well on the season? I mean,
242, 4 homers, 15 RBIs. Like
he's league average. He's just an average baseball player.
He's like a scrub,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just fine, I guess.
He's Cronenworthless.
Yep. The Cy Young goes to David Bednar, who got 3 relief appearances, 2 saves, 3 innings, and a win. Nothing earned, and an 0.33 whip. So all 3 relief appearances, a win, and 2 saves. Very nicely done.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
And with the win and the save, we're against the Phillies. So thank you very much for that.
Very nicely done. Thank you very much. Kyle Leahy is the Cy Yuck, 1350 across 2/3 of an inning, I guess. I mean, Frank pitched pretty damn well. Another sub-3 ERA this week.
Yeah, and a 102 whip across
Very well done.
58 innings. So yeah, it was a really good week.
Yeah. For Costas on the bench this week, he goes 2 for 15. That's a 133 average. A run that would have won the category, a homer that would have won the category, and a walk that would have won that would have that would have won the category. 4 RBIs and 2 strikeouts. Not a great week, even though he only left one thing on the bench. It was the
That was the
Gavin
play.
Lux play.
Yeah, it was the play on Saturday. I know it's I don't know how it went down, but it probably was a weird day because that was the day after the suspended game. So they finished the suspended game on Saturday. And so I don't know if Yahoo locks the players then, and he just didn't have time then to switch out Lux and Teoscar because Teoscar didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it because Lux hit a grand slam that day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference between 15-5 and what, 13-7? It's
Yeah,
a big difference. It's a big swing.
difference for both guys.
Yep. He used 9 ads this week. He added Brady Singer for a decent start against Milwaukee, but a loss. Jose Buto for a loss in relief against the Dodgers. Zebby Matthews for a win against the Athletics. Jonathan Clase 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Taylor Clark for a bad relief appearance. Josh Smith 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Stephen Kolek for a good start in Milwaukee. Luis Severino for a bad start against the Orioles. And Jake Bird, who did not come in. His MVP this week goes to Willie Castro, 391 with a 481, 6 runs, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Gotta love this guy. He's on my Dynasty League team. I just beat Jason Ashby this week in that league.
You did do that, didn't you?
I did.
Jerk.
His least valuable hitter goes to Teoscar Hernandez, 083 with a 154, 3 runs, a double, an RBI, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Could go to Lars Nootbaar. Could go to Carson Kelly. Could go to Gavin Lux.
Yeah.
A bunch of guys didn't hit this week.
But, I mean, he didn't hit terribly. It's just enough.
Yeah. The Cy Young this week goes to Will Vest, who had 3 relief appearances, 4 1/3, a win, a save, 4 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 0.23. Mark Leiter Jr. was also very good. Freddie Peralta was pretty good despite a loss. So
yeah,
there were some good opportunities there.
Matthew Boyd, despite a loss, he was pretty good too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was some good pitching here.
Yeah. However, Tyler Anderson, 9 innings, a loss, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, an 8 and a 2, 8 earned runs across 2 starts and 9 innings.
Yeah, so it looks like it's a complete game. Oh, look, he pitched a complete game, 11 strikeouts. No, he didn't do that. It's 2 starts, and they're both really bad.
Yeah. And Brandon Pfaadt has been a mess as well. 3 innings, a 15 ERA, and a 2.33 whip. So that guy's been a mess.
He's been a big Pfaadt mess.
Yeah. This one was against Atlanta. He gave up 5 over 3. And, of course, his last start against Washington, he gave up, 9 without recording an out?
8 runs without getting an out.
And now he gets Seattle tomorrow. So we'll see if Costas starts him there.
I mean, it's, not a very offensive-minded team, so maybe.
Yeah. Frank gets himself right. We were saying last week that we thought he was in trouble. He needed to get a good win. He certainly answers the bell here and gets himself right. He jumps himself 2 spots in the standings. He's now 10.5 out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, he did exactly what he needed to do, and basically put Costas where he was. And now, Frank is trending in the right direction. Weeks like this is going to do that for him.
Yeah. Costas has to answer the bell, though.
Yeah, now it's Costas' turn. He needs to come back and make some damage because he right now, he was top of the league, at one point, and now here he is, right above Ari and Levy, who we've already kind of written off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another big loss like this is not going to do him any favors. Trying to dig out of this thing. He's got to get a win this week. Who's he got this week?
He's got Ari this week.
This is a good opportunity for him to dig out.
Yeah, because then it's Jimmy, Levy, Cody, and then Ben. So, yeah.
It can be done. It can be done, but we'll see if he's up to the task.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's finish this thing out with the final matchup here. It is Bobby Russo taking on Adam Lowenstein. This was a fun one to watch, even though it was one of the guys lower in the standings. This was a great matchup.
It absolutely was. Just to do the research on was just fun.
Yeah. On Sunday, Adam flipped innings pitched, untied strikeouts by a pitcher, but Bobby flipped ERA and home runs by a pitcher. Adam gave up 5 of them on Sunday. So it was 10-10 going in, 11-10 coming out, and congratulations to Bobby. He does, however, win the week without hitting a home run. He's the first person to do that since 2017.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I could not believe that.
Mm-hmm. Close categories this week. Bobby wins by the triple, 2 stolen bases, 3 wins, 2 losses, 2 saves, and 2 relief appearances. Adam wins by an inning and a third, and they did not tie in anything. For Bobby on his bench this week, he went 6 for 30. That's a 200 batting average with a run, 4 doubles, a steal, 9 strikeouts, and an error. He could have gotten inning pitched on Sunday if he had played any of his pitchers, but he wasn't doing that.
Yeah, he only lost by an inning and a third. He benched a whole bunch of pitching on Sunday, but I guess trying not to get the losses. Yeah.
Or the homer.
The homer, yeah.
Yeah. He used 8 ads this week. He started with Dylan Moore 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Gavin Sheets 2 for 5 with a triple and 4 RBIs. Well done there.
The only triple of the matchup came that day.
Yeah, that was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Very nice. Colton Gordon, 5-inning win against Cleveland. Logan Allen, a 6-inning loss on the other side against Houston. Zach, who also doesn't have a fucking vowel in his last name. How the hell do you even pronounce that?
I don't. I just say Zach.
Yeah. Zach had a clean relief appearance. Dane Myers, 2 for 3 with a double, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout. Hunter Dobbins benched for his decent start against the Yankees. And Ryan Bergert, 5-inning, no decision, 5 1/3, no decision, nothing earned against Milwaukee. He wasn't even supposed to start that guy. He texted me and Ben that he wasn't supposed to start that guy, and he started him. And got the ERA flip.
Happy accidents.
Sometimes happy accidents happen.
That's insane.
His MVP this week, I have no idea. He hit 206, didn't hit a home run. He got the triple out of Gavin Sheets. You guys make the call.
I mean, Randy Rosarena had, 304, but he had 8 strikeouts. Like,
yeah,
okay, 1 run scored.
Yeah, Gavin Sheets, a triple, 4 RBIs, and a 333 batting average. That's who I'm voting for. He won a category off of Gavin Sheets' triple.
He's not even on the team anymore.
Nope, sure isn't. Probably only played him the one day. The least valuable hitter is Sheets' teammate Jackson Merrill, 167 batting average and on base, 3 runs, a double, an RBI, and 12 strikeouts. Not great.
No.
The Cy Young is those guys' teammate Robert Suarez, 4 innings, a win, 2 saves, 3 strikeouts, nothing earned, and an 0-50 across 3 relief appearances. So 3 appearances, 2 saves, and a win. Good job.
Yep.
The Cy Young is Luis Castillo. 5 innings, a loss, 3 bombs, 5 strikeouts, a 720, and a 160. Not very good at all. But Bobby pitched just well enough in order to take down this win.
Yeah. He didn't pitch terrible, but 3 home runs allowed in the start by Luis Castillo. That opened some eyes.
Yeah. For Adam on the bench this week, he went 3 for 21. That's a 143 average with 2 runs, an RBI, a steal, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 relief appearances that would have played.
Yeah, he had a save from Reed Detmers on Tuesday. Didn't matter the save, but the relief appearance did.
Yeah, the 2 relief appearances would have played and would have tied the category. Okay. 7 moves this week out of Adam. Cedon Rafaela, 3 for 5 with a run, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs, and an error. Cal Quantrill, 5-inning loss, 360 and a 120 against Colorado. He lost to Colorado in Miami.
Yep. Look, the Rockies swept the Marlins.
They did.
Yeah,
It
let me tell you, that made waves here. People were talking about the Rockies for 3 games in Miami.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Mike Talkman, 0 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. Lou Trevino, not a clean relief appearance. Carlos Narvaez, 0 for 2 with a run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Angel Zerpa for a clean relief appearance. And Mike Vassell, 3 1/3, no decision, 540 and a 180 against Kansas City. His MVP this week goes to Brent Rooker. That guy's doing well for the A's this year. 308 with a 419, 4 runs, 2 doubles, 6 RBIs, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The least valuable hitter goes to Josh Naylor, 111 batting average and on base with 2 RBIs and 5 strikeouts. The Cy Young goes to Carlos Rodon's first start, and the Cy Young goes to Carlos Rodon's second start.
Yeah, I mean, night and day. And the second start was the Sunday night game, and he was not good.
Yeah, he was a mess against the Red Sox, but he was good against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Both these guys sitting toward the bottom of the standings right now. Adam making his way back up after a very rough start. Both of these guys not hitting where I think they want to be.
No. And look, when you win a matchup with no home runs and also lose a matchup to a guy who didn't hit a home run, it's that's rough.
Both these things, yeah, both of these guys should be looking at this team going, what do I have to do here? Bobby, this win snapped a month-long winless streak.
Yeah, he had been sliding down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
now Adam, this loss snapped a 5-game unbeaten streak after 4 straight losses to start the season.
Yeah,
he's got a weird schedule going on. He lost 4, he won 4, he tied, and now he's lost again. So is this the slide that's coming, or is he going to catapult upward from here?
He's got Lebo, then the Habers, and then Frank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's a tough little road. We'll see which way it goes for him.
Yeah. And as for Bobby, Bobby's got Henry this week, then Sherman, then me, and then Ari, and then Levy. So like there's room for Bobby to get himself right here.
Mm-hmm. There's opportunity here. He needs to get right and get on a winning streak in a hurry before he has to go into that gauntlet again with Ben and the Habers. And
yeah.
All right, Jason, it's time. Who's the manager of the week this week, my friend?
I mean, is it not Frank Bucco?
It should be Frank Bucco. I think we could all agree it should be Frank Bucco.
Yeah, because he did exactly what he needed to do against the guy he needed to do it against, and he's put himself back in trajectory to move up the standings. So good job, Frank.
Congratulations, Frank. You got yourself a 15-5 win over Costas. Answered the bell when you were looking like you were the next one to get knocked out. So let's make this a step in the right direction and the first step of many going forward, man.
Yes.
Jason, thanks so much for being here, my friend. It is getting late early.
Yes, sir. It's look, I'm gonna keep on pushing. I'm not out of this thing yet. I'm gonna keep on rolling.
Good. Well, I hope to see you making lots of moves here in the second half, climbing that ladder and getting toward those playoff spots. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all of you guys watching, listening, and being a part of It's the Bigs podcast. Until next time, guys, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the Bigs. We'll see you next time.